Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Mandatoria Live Fight Preview Show. Now, we got lots to get into this morning, but first, I want to say if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, follow us on our social media channels. We're at the Mandatory TKO. And also, if you have a couple of minutes, we're also on the audio side. So, like I said, if you got a couple of minutes, leave a rate and review because obviously that helps the channel grow. And you could also give us a 5-star there because, I mean, why wouldn't you? Jaime Munguia is going to be back in the ring. And Jaime Munguia, of course, coming off, his fight against Canelo Alvarez. He was competitive in that fight. Erik Bazinyan, who also, I believe he's Canadian. That's what he claims, if I'm not mistaken.
Armenian from Canada.
Yeah. So, this should be an interesting fight. Bryan, your thoughts on Jaime Munguia?
I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not rushing to bet it. I'm not particularly too interested in this fight, other than the standpoint of like, all right, we'll see where Jaime Munguia is. After this, his opponent is coming off a split decision draw with Shaquille Finn, which I watched some of earlier this week. Not some of, damn near the whole thing. And because I heard a lot of people saying like, "Oh, there was a robbery. He should have lost. He should have lost. He should have lost." And it looked like he should have lost. For being honest, most of his fights have been in Montreal. He's only won like regional titles: NABF, NABA, NABO. Never fought for a world title, despite being almost 30 years old and 32-0, with a draw now and 23 knockouts. All his fights have been like he has a puffed up record, kind of like Jaime Munguia to some extent. But Jaime Munguia, we've at least seen him for years now beat guys that we've heard of. Liam Smith, Saddam Ali. That was a long time ago, but that's to illustrate the point. Like he's been at this for a long time. John Ryder more recently, which you especially think that John Ryder was, overrated in his day, but he made John Ryder retire and stopped him. And John Ryder had only been stopped once before that and shouldn't have been stopped in that fight. It was a bad stoppage. So I give him some credit for that. He beat Sergey Derevyanchenko.
Nothing made me happier than seeing Jaime Munguia do that to John Ryder. Because after that Canelo fight, the way they were hyping up John Ryder, I was so annoyed. Canelo was coming off surgery and a layoff. Like, let's stop it. Anyway, sorry to cut you off.
So Bazinyan, I don't know how to say his last name, to be honest with you.
I mean, if you're from North America, I think you say Bazinyan. That's how I've heard it. But whatever. I mean,
we might not care after this weekend.
Yeah. But he's Canadian. We care.
He probably should have. He probably could have lost that fight to Alantes Fox, which I vaguely remember in 2023. But that was a majority decision that was close, and he probably could have lost that fight. Two of the cards were 98, 92 in his favor, which all right, seems generous. But like his resume is just not. It's just not there. So this is clearly set up for Jaime Munguia to win this fight and then move on to the next. So I'm interested in seeing Richard Torres Jr. I'm interested in seeing Emiliano Vargas, but this is a fight of. I mean, this is a card of one-sided top-ranked fights.
Listen, Jaime Munguia should win this fight, but Erik Bazinyan, I feel like, is actually a tough fight. He does have power. Of course, his resume is a little bit juiced up, but I mean, that's boxing.
Yeah.
And he does throw a flurry of punches. He does great shots to the body. Like, he's a great body puncher. Erik Bazinyan is a very good fighter if you're looking for a tune-up, because we haven't seen him against real competition. I think that's kind of where you're going to see the edge for Jaime Munguia, because Jaime Munguia, we was just in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that Erik Bazinyan is a tough fight for him because of that power, because of the body punching, and the fact that he can throw a flurry of punches. What's one thing about Jaime Munguia that we've noticed throughout the years? He's very irresponsible defensively. He has the high work rate and he has the power, and that's how he wins fights. But he also leaves himself open to get dropped and hit. And we've seen that before. So the confidence for Jaime Munguia after fighting Canelo Alvarez, I want to see what type of fighter we get. Also, I think one of the biggest storylines is he's not even with Freddie Roach anymore. He's with Erik Morales. So he's changed his trainer. So usually when you change your trainer in your first fight, you're a little bit cautious. Like, you don't look like that same dude, right? So I want to see what type of Jaime Munguia we get. I'm not sure why he left Freddie Roach, because I thought Jaime looked good. under Freddie Roach. But to go over to Erik Morales after the Canelo Alvarez fight, and now you're going to be fighting Erik Bazinyan, who, not a big name. I don't think a lot of people have seen him fight, but he's a solid opponent. If Jaime Munguia gets irresponsible defensively, which we've seen him do throughout his career, he could be in trouble. Like, this is not a sure fight for Jaime because of the fact that he switched a trainer. So I think that is the interesting point of the whole fight, but he should win this fight, and we'll see what happens. I'm still interested in Jaime Munguia and Berlanga.
Me too.
That's still a fight that I think I could get down with.
Jesus, who's also asking me about another fight on the Anthony Joshua Danny Dubois card. I may circle back to that. Not a lot of value in it, I'll be honest, but does mention Top Rank wants, in his opinion, Christian Mbili versus Jaime Munguia. Which, I mean, why else would you sign Jaime Munguia? After a Canelo Alvarez loss, you have another.
Everyone's talking about Canelo fighting him as well. There's talk.
Anybody but David Benavidez. I mean, listen. I would love Christian Mbili versus Jaime Munguia. I would love Edgar Berlanga to fight either one. I would not mind that at all. Mbili looks good, and he also needs to. I want to see him fight some real dudes, but he also beat Sergey Derevyanchenko. So
that's a very tough fight. Very tough fight. But let us know in the comments below how you're going to be betting these fights this weekend. If you're going to go for an upset. Also, let us know if you're excited for any other fights. And keep in mind, guys, that we want the channel to grow. We want to continue to do these lives. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also follow us on our social media channels. We're at The Mandatory TKO. And we'll be back next week with some more content. We're going to be doing a little bit of, I guess, a recap of what we saw this weekend, because we're not going to be doing a post-fight show, if anyone was wondering, but we will have you covered on Monday, where we're going to be talking about what went down with Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois, because, listen, whoever wins this fight, how they win, it's going to be interesting. And then also with Jaime Munguia, because like I said, Jaime Munguia should get it done. Like, he should actually win in rounds 1 through 6. He should. This should be like a statement win for Jaime. It actually should, but we don't know. So I think the Jaime Munguia aspect of the conversation we're going to have on Monday is going to be pretty interesting as well. But Bryan, any final thoughts before we get up and out of here?
Yeah, to answer Jesus's question about Tyler Denny versus Hamza Shiraz. Are you interested in this fight at all, Shantelle?
Actually, I'm going to watch it. I am.
Do you think Shiraz is legit?
I need to see him against better competition. I think this will be a good test.
I don't think this fight's going to prove he's not legit, unless he loses, of course. But I mean,
well, just to see if he's gotten better as well, because that's like the one thing that I look at when I'm taking a look at a fighter. Has he gotten better in each of his fights?
He won a silver middleweight WBC silver middleweight title against Ammo Williams, which that was an interesting fight going into it, and that was a really impressive performance. Just slightly disappointed that this is a step down in competition with respect to Tyler Denny, who's been knocked out before. So I'm expecting, as are the sport books, for Shiraz to get it done by stoppage. Not a lot of value.
Yeah, I looked at it actually because I was trying to make a parlay, and I was like, I guess you could put it in a parlay, but
you could if you think Anthony Joshua is going to get the stoppage, and if you think Jaime Munguia is going to get the stoppage, and if you think Shiraz is going to get the stoppage, then yeah, you have a decent.
And Richard Torres get the stoppage, and Emiliano Vargas get the stoppage.
I'm waiting. One of those things are bound to go wrong. I'm waiting for the full odds to come out for Emiliano Vargas and Richard Torres Jr., but it's not the case. But Shiraz looks good. I think he should handle business, and I think this is a top heavy weekend of fights. The undercard fights are they're interesting, and we're gonna watch them, but like. Maybe like say for a couple different dudes, like Joshua Buatsi versus Willie Hutchinson is sneaky, really
very
interesting.
Good. That's actually a good fight. But also I feel like these fights are on at the same time USC and Michigan are on. So I'm going to have that on the smaller screen.
Oh shit. No, that's the other thing, man.
You know College
football, yeah. College football. I mean,
USC and Michigan, yeah. Like I don't know if I'm going to be watching the undercard, to be honest with you. But I will check out. I will have it on the smaller screen.
Yeah. You're more of a college football person than me.
I love
So
college
it's
football.
fine.
But you
WNBA
also,
playoffs are going to start Sunday, so I'm excited for that. I just don't like that it's going up against the NFL, but it is what it is.
it's tough. It's a good week. It's a good week. By the way, guys, hit that like and subscribe button and make sure to follow us on our social media channels. We'll be back with you early next week. Drop some comments. Let us know how you're betting this fight. Also, drop your slips if you are taking Daniel Dubois and taking the upset. Bryan, I'll let you have the last words.
Donate to the channel as well, please. We enjoy the support.